So for today we have Broken Wood 2020 Semillon from the Hunter Valley. So New South Wales. Yeah, sounds very interesting.
Okay, Semillon.
Semillon, yeah.
What is it? What is the closest wine variety?
Semillon is somehow between a Riesling and a Sauvignon Blanc, if you like.
Okay.
Well, more towards perhaps to a Sauvignon Blanc. Semi-aromatic, high acidity, very light in style, light in alcohol, light in body. Uh, Flavor-wise, less herbaceous than a Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
So hence again a little bit closer to the Riesling on this side with the tart green fruit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
So
somewhere around
expect it
there.
to be lighter in alcohol?
Lighter in alcohol, yeah.
So like the equivalent of like a Pinot of red.
Correct.
So the bottom scale
Yeah,
of it.
you could say that. You could say that.
In
of
alcohol-wise.
course, yeah, alcohol-wise, yes. But it's a white grape variety, and the reason why why it's given or why it actually acquires a low alcohol is because it's harvested a little bit earlier,
Okay.
especially in this region because of the tropical climates.
We've picked a pretty good, a very well-known
Mhm.
producer of
Mhm.
wine, Broken Wood, for this
Yeah.
Semillon. So when I showed you this bottle, this is one of my purchases. I showed you the label. You went, "Ooh, 2020. This is
Yeah.
gonna be. It's gonna
Yeah.
be like what? Sharp is the word you said, right?
Yeah, that's right. Very sharp, very, very sharp. I
So
mean,
does that
without
mean you want to
tasting,
age?
it needs a lot of age. Yes, and this is the Broken Wood, the entry level wine. They
Mhm.
will have a top wine, which is the ILR, which is a tribute to the winemaker. And yeah, Broken Wood, it's very very good. They make great wines, but yes, knowing a 2020, that will be like ripping our faces off.
So you already know
Um,
what it's gonna taste like pretty much before we pour the glass. But let's
yeah,
do
yeah,
exactly that.
wonderful.
Wow. I mean, it's the color I expected as I look at my glass while you pour yours.
It's green. It looks,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just like
Hey, it looks
just
like the
the bottle.
Riesling. Looks like that Riesling that we
Yeah,
had.
yeah. They can be very similar. That's why.
It does have it's a super green color.
That's it. So super green, as you can see. Like pale lemon or pale straw color with that like green hint. When you look at this, it's almost like water clear.
Mm.
Is due to the youthness of the wine.
So this would go darker color if you were to buy a 2002 screw top. You'd find a much
100%. A lot more developed color, and a lot more complexity. I think there's wines from Clare Valley. I mean, Riesling, in this case, is a Semillon from Hunter Valley, but these young Australian wines, they do get a lot of complexity in the bottle. It just needs time. They
Okay.
just do need time.
Where to now?
Intensity. So intensity on the nose.
Not that intense.
I was gonna say, you see how on one other episode we tried the Sauvignon Blanc from
Which
New
punched
Zealand,
my nose, like
which was
fractured my nose. I had a blood nose after that.
Yeah, exactly. So how this is like a medium intensity.
It's like a feather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, we must say this is young. If you give it another 5-6 years, then it will evolve a lot more.
It's hard to get like a smell off it. I'm like
Yeah.
digging my nose so deep into this glass. I feel like I'm like Adrian Brody, that guy who played the pianist with that huge nose trying to touch the glass.
It tastes like you smell like green fig. I mean, I'm from Portugal. Fig is we have fig trees everywhere. I find it a little bit sulfuric as well. Um, it's a complicated term, but sulfur it's added into the wines to protect the wines from oxidation. So it is a very very important part of a wine because it will protect the wine from again oxidation. So winemakers have to have sulfur, and there's literally no wine in the whole world that is 100% free sulfur. Why? Because uh, sulfur is actually a byproduct from fermentation. So every single wine has a little bit, at least,
Even if
of
it's naturally occurring.
correct,
Yeah.
natural protection.
I also smell some apple.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep, some
Green
green
apple,
apple.
tart
Yep.
green apple, lemon and lime, high
We're
acidity.
drinking a lot of tart white wines on this show. Okay. So where are we at now?
I think the reason why you say that is because we are drinking,
Hmm.
buying bottles of wine that
In a
are
budget that can only allow.
correct,
Yeah.
correct. Because the moment you go for all the wines, as you can imagine, is cash flow is much harder
Yeah.
to play with, because wines that age for a long time, they have to be kept somewhere. So naturally, the prices increase
Yep.
as well.
Can I taste? Because I don't get oak.
Yeah.
No spice. It's pretty straightforward
Yeah,
wine, right?
100%. And is I think it's unfair. I really like the producer. I think it's unfair to drink such bottle of young bottle of wine, but nevertheless, look, it's
They put it in the stores, man.
yeah, that's right,
You know.
that's it.
So ideally you'd let this sit for like 8 to 10 years,
Yeah, at the very least, at the very least,
at least.
at the
But
very
you know,
least.
at the same time, they're selling it. You know.
That's right. So
Wow. Okay.
palates
Yeah.
to keep it
Mm-hmm.
to keep it structurally, Angus. Don't try to run away from it.
I'm with you, mate. Walking with
Sweetness,
It's a dry wine.
dry wine, bone dry. I would even say like this.
Wow.
So tart. There's no residual sugar at all. There's no sense of sweetness.
Yeah.
Bone dry. I mean, yeah, bone dry. Acidity,
Quite acid heavy.
high acid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes mouth watering.
Yeah.
In this Semillon today, I don't feel any alcohol at all.
Yeah.
Like it's
And that was 13.5% the Sauv Blanc we had in the past.
correct. So what do you think for this one?
Well, you're right. 12? 12.5?
11%.
11%.
So far, the lowest alcohol we've tried
We've
in the
tried.
podcast. Yeah.
Okay, you're right. There's no burning on the
Yeah.
throat. That's interesting. And the final thing that we usually do with our structure of tasting is fruits, or just confirming what the nose had.
Correct. Well, yeah, it doesn't change on the palate. It's still that green apple, that
Yeah.
green lemon, green tart pear. Me more so than the pear is really that green tart fig, and I can't really get much out of it. Green kiwi, and I think that's it. But as I said, I think it's unfair for this bottle of wine, but it is what it is.
It's been sold.
Yeah.
To kind of talk about previous episodes, with the Riesling that we had in episode 1, you said oysters and sushi, that soy sauce, that wasabi. And then you've talked about the Sauvignon Blanc, the Dog Point from a previous episode. You said a mixed leaf salad, some shredded chicken, like a Caesar salad style. So if something sits in the middle here, what are you feeding yourself with this wine?
For this one, I'm thinking, and I should have prepared my menu better. I will do for the next episodes. But I'm thinking of, say, a hay smoked kingfish. Fresh, clean, smoked kingfish, right? And served with very thinly sliced avocado and just a green herbal sauce. So, the freshness, again, to preserve the freshness and to put an emphasis of on the freshness of the fish, but then the avocado to kind of balance with the tartness of the wine and the freshness of the fish, to give a little bit of body, to give a little bit of richness.
You know how to sell a wine, my man.